let's look at the third normal form. There are some rules in the third normal form. First, a table can be in the third normal form when it is already in the second normal form and the primary key is functionally dependent on every non-key attribute. Remember, third normal form is better than second normal form. Second normal form is better than first normal form. So let's look at an example here. Let's consider the employee table. The employee table consists of employee code, employee department, and employee head. First, we want to check to see if this is in second normal form. In the employee table, the attribute employee code is basically a primary key. Department and department head are basically non-key attributes. Each employee key code has exactly one value for the department. So employee code is functionally dependent on non-key attribute department. And employee code is also functionally dependent on non-key attribute department head. So department head determines the employee code. Let's look at the guideline for converting a table into the third normal form. First, we are going to find and remove the non-key attributes that aren't functionally dependent on the primary key. Then we place them into a separate table and then we group the remaining tables and attributes. So let's look at the employee table and see how we can follow the guidelines to turn it into the third normal form. So employee code, as we talked about, is a primary key. Department and department head are non-key attributes. So the department head is functionally dependent on the department. So we are going to take the department and department head and put it into a new table called department. So we put these non-key attributes into a table and we call it the department. Also, we are going to place the employee code and the department in the separate table, and we call them employee table. So that's it for the third normal form. So let's look at what we have covered. First, we talk about the functional dependencies. We said that column or the attribute B is functionally dependent on another column A or collection of other columns. When each value of A in the database is associated with exactly one value of B. Column A is the primary key if all the columns are functionally dependent on A and there is no sub-collection of columns in A. Also have this property. When there is more than one choice for primary key, one possibility is chosen to be the primary key and the others are going to be called candidate key. Also, we talked about 3 different normal forms. First, the table is in the first normal form that doesn't contain repeating groups. Non-key column or non-key attribute is not part of the primary key. Table is in the second normal form when it is first normal form and no non-key column is dependent on only portion of the primary key. Determinant is a column that functionally determines other columns. So let's look at the third normal form. The table is in the third normal form when it is in the second normal form and its only determinants are candidate key. Collection of table that's not in the third normal form has some inherent problems called update anomalies.